Hello everyone. Myself Professor Dharam Unadkat here with the subject Effective Technical Communication. So, in the first video of Module 1, we have covered topics like process of communication, dynamic communication, kinesics and proxemics. More topics of Module 1 will be discussed in this video. Starting with the topic number 5 that is paralinguistic features, vocal. Paralinguistic communication refers to the study of human voice and how words are spoken. The words are stating on pages. Voice give extra life to our delivery. Voice is useful to understand the characteristic of voice, namely quality, volume, rate, pitch, pronunciation, voice modulation and pauses. Paralinguistic features includes quality. It is characteristic that distinguish one voice from another. It cannot be changed, but it can be trained for optimum impact. Very few people are naturally blessed with deep and resonant quality. For example, our PM Narendra Modi. Second comes the volume. Volume is the loudness or the soundness of the voice. Voice should always project but need not always be loud. If our volume is too high, it sounds boorish and insensitive. If our volume is too low, it conveys an impression of timidity and also gives the impression that we are not prepared or lack of confidence to express ourselves. Next comes the rate or pace. Rate is the number of words one speaks per minute. It varies from person to person and from 80 to 250 words per minute. The normal rate is 120 to 150 words per minute. If the speech is too slow, the speaker is mostly like to be considered a dull speaker. If the speech is too fast, listeners do not get enough time to grasp a message. Next comes the pitch. Pitch refers to the number of vibrations of our voice per second. The rise and fall of the voice conveys variation emotions. Thank you is a phrase. The low pitch expresses sadness, shock, dullness, guilt, etc., while the high pitch expresses excitement, joy, and anger. Next comes the pronunciation. Pronunciation requires us to speak out sound in the way that is generally accepted. We received British pronunciation. Whenever there is a confusion in pronunciation, always consult a good dictionary and try to pronunciation it accordingly. Next comes the pauses. A pause is a short silence by words. It helps the listener reflects on the message and digest it accordingly. It also helps speaker glide from one thought to another. Being too self-conscious may make the process look artificial. And last comes the intonation. It is the rising and falling of the tone in a voice while speaking. For example, this is my uncle's house. Thus, the paralinguistic features includes quality, volume, rate or pace, pitch, pronunciation, pauses and intonation. Now, the next topic is importance of interpersonal communication. Interpersonal skills are also known as people skills. By forming interpersonal relationship with customers and employees, you are able to acknowledge the feeling of others and convey respect. Seeing yourself as others see you is the first step to improving your interpersonal communication skills. Effective interpersonal communication in the workplace is integral to a well-functioning, high-performing team. Interpersonal skills are the ability to communicate important information and manage social interaction with colleagues both up and down the business chain. The 10 key interpersonal communication skills identified as crucial by business executives. This includes first, communication, like oral, speaking capability, written, presenting, and listening. Second, courtesy, like manners, etiquette, business etiquette, gracious, says please and thank you, respectful. Third, flexibility, like adaptability, willing to change, lifelong learner, accepts new thing, adjust, teachable. Fourth, integrity, like honest, ethical, high moral, has personal values. Fifth, interpersonal skills, like nice, personable, sense of humor, friendly, and positive. Sixth, attitude, like optimistic, enthusiastic, encouraging, happy, and confident. 7. Professionalism, like business, poised. 8th, responsibility, accountable, reliable, gets the job done, resourceful, self disciplined, common sense. Ninth, teamwork, like gets along with others, agreeable, supportive, helpful, collaborative, etc. And last comes work ethic, like hardworking, loyal, initiative, self motivated, and on time. So these are the 10 key interpersonal communication skill which are identified as a crucial by business executive. Here are some other ways to improve your interpersonal communication skills. First, be more approachable, like implement an open door policy. Second, build a rapport. Take an interest in your customers and employees. Engaged in periodic casual conversation. Discuss mutual non business interest. Share your personal interest. Third, strive to make others comfortable with you. Like, refrain from being overly serious. Control your intensity. Smile frequently while speaking. Use appropriate humor. Fourth, develop your ability to make small talk. Prepare openly statement about current events. Discuss the weather, etc. Fifth, treat others fairly. Remain neutral in workplace disputes. Thus, this is all about the importance of interpersonal communication. Now, the next topic is importance of intercultural communication. Intercultural communication skills are those required to communicate or share information with the people from other cultures or social groups. While language skill may be an as important part of intercultural communication, they are by means the only requirement. Intercultural communication also requires an understanding that different cultures have different customs, standards, social modes, and even thought patterns. Effective intercultural communication is a vital skill for anyone working across the country or continents, including those working for multinational companies either in their home country or abroad. It is also crucial for anyone working with the people from other culture to avoid misunderstanding. There are some key areas of knowledge for those wanting to improve their intercultural communications are: first, some knowledge of the cultures, organization and institutes, history and general way of living of the different communities and nations. Recognition that these aspects affect behavior norms. For example, there is considerable history between the Greek and the Turks, and therefore it may be considered potentially a problem to serve Turkish food to a Greek person. Third, some understanding of the convictions that may govern behavior in certain specific intercultural environment, such as views on the role of women or the license or otherwise permitted to children. Fourth, crucially, awareness of your own and other people's beliefs and values. Also, one more example, like in India and other Asian countries, people tend to be a part of closed groups whenever they are, be it family, relatives, friends, or even a few colleagues. While USA, UK, and many other countries believe in individuality culture, This influences the way that communicate. The Indians may feel that they are too formal and they maybe feel that we are too friendly. One more example. In India, we don't often thank you to close friends or family members because we feel they are supposed to do things for us. While in the US, they are used to thank for every small act of others, including parents and close friends, and they find people who forgot to thank for every little things as ungrateful. So, this is all about the importance of intercultural communication and its example. Now, the next topic is levels of communication, which includes extrapersonal communication, intrapersonal communication, mass communication, interpersonal communication, and organizational communication. First is extrapersonal communication. Communication between a human beings and non-human entities is known as extrapersonal communication. For example, when your pet dog comes to you wagging its tail as soon as you return home from the walk, it is an example of extrapersonal communication. A parrot responding to your greeting is another example. More than any other form, this form of communication requires perfect coordination and understanding between the sender and the receiver because at least one of them transmits information or responds in sign language only. Second is the intrapersonal communication. Intrapersonal communication takes place within an individual. For example, when you begin to feel hot, this information is sent to the brain and you may decide to turn on the cooler, responding to instructions sent from the brain to the hand. This kind of communication pertains to thinking, which is the basis of information processing. You might have noticed that at times you motivate yourself or consciously resolve to complete a certain task. Self motivation, self determination, and the like take place at the intrapersonal level. Third comes the interpersonal communication. Communication at this level refers to the sharing of information among people. Interpersonal communication differs from other forms of communication in that there are few participants involved. They are in the close physical proximity to each other. Many sensory channels are used and feedback is immediate. Also, the role of the sender and the receiver keep alternating. This form of communication is advantageous because direct and immediate feedback is possible. Interpersonal communication can be formal or informal. Next comes the organizational communication. Communication in an organization takes place at a different hierarchy level. As we have learnt, it is extremely necessary for the sustenance of any organization. Since a large number of employees are involved in several different activities, the need to communicate effectively becomes greater in an organization. Organizational communication can be further divided into following. First, internal operational. All communication that occurs in the process of operation within an organization is classified as internal operational. I repeat, the process of operation within an organization is classified as internal operational. Second, external operation. The work related communication that an organization has with people outside the organization is called external operational communication. And last comes the personal. All communication in an organization other than that for business or official is called personal communication. And last level is mass communication. Mass communication is meant for large audience and requires a medium to transmit information. There are several mass media such as journals, books, televisions and newspaper. Press interviews given by the chairman of a large firm, advertisement for a particular product or service, and the like take place through mass media. Oral communication through mass media requires equipment such as microphones, amplifiers, etc. And the written form needs print or visuals media. So, this is all about the level of communication, which includes extrapersonal communication, intrapersonal communication, mass communication, interpersonal communication, and organizational communication. So, in this video, we have covered the topics like paralinguistic features, importance of interpersonal communication, importance of intercultural communication, and level of communication. More topic of module 1 can be further discussed in upcoming videos. Thank you.